NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race officially concluded from Charlotte Motor Speedway, and Corey Heim puts up an absolute massive dominant clinic and picks up his 4th truck win of 2025. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. I just got done watching NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race from Charlotte Motor Speedway, the North Carolina Education Lighter 300. We had quite a bit to talk about from this race. Let's go and talk about it. So at the start of the race, you had Gio Ruggiero lead the field from the inside with Tanner Gray on the outside, and Gio Ruggiero got a really strong start and was able to clear for the lead as Tanner Gray did not get a good start. Meanwhile, coming down the front straightaway, Gio Ruggiero and Corey Heim would battle side by side for the race lead, with eventually Corey Heim getting a really good run and being able to pass Gio Ruggiero to take the race lead. But then all of a sudden, Ross Chastain, who was starting up front in this race, his truck was really good on the short runs and would charge up against Corey Heim for the race lead. And they would battle back and forth for the race lead for the next 10 to 15 laps. They battle side by side. They would battle right next to each other. The racing between these two guys was very respectful, but the racing was really, really good. Another guy that was coming up was Lane Riggs. Lane Riggs' truck was really, really good on the longer run as well, and he was coming to the front. But once we got into a longer run, Corey Heim's truck really started coming in, and he started pulling away from the rest of the field. He would pull out to a near second or 1.5 second lead over the rest of the field. They would not catch him by the end of the stage after some really good battles. And coming off of turn number 4, Corey Heim would come off the corner and win stage number 1, followed by Ross Chastain, Lane Riggs, Caden Honeycutt, and Kyle Busch. Meanwhile, when they were coming to the end of stage number 1, Tony Breininger had gotten in the outside wall, I believe, with the flat tire and hit the outside wall really hard. She would go many laps down because of that tough break for Tony, who struggled in the Craftsman Truck Series this year. So then, all lead lap trucks would then come down pit road, with Caden Honeycutt actually winning the race off pit road, followed by Corey Heim and Lane Riggs. Andres Perez would get a penalty for over the wall too soon, and Matt Mills and Stuart Friesen would have to go to the rear for uncontrolled tires. So on the restart, Caden Honeycutt lead the field from the inside with Corey Heim on the outside, and Caden Honeycutt got a really strong restart and was able to clear for the race lead, with Kyle Busch giving a pretty good push to him. And then Corey Heim got a really, really good run on Kyle Busch, and he moved up to second position. Then he shoot to the outside 3 wide and was able to get around Caden Honeycutt for the race lead. And once again, on these restarts, like I mentioned earlier, the restarts are really strong and really good between everybody. But once Corey Heim was able to get the race lead, he started scooting out and pulling away and would continue to dominate the early portion of the race. He would pull out to a near 3-second lead by the end of stage number 2, and coming off the final corner, Corey Heim continues his dominance and wins stage number 2 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Then all lead lap trucks will once again come back down pit road to come down for pit stops, and Caden Honeycutt once again would win the race off pit road, followed by Corey Heim and Lane Riggs. And then on the restart, Caden Honeycutt lead the field from the inside with Corey Heim on the outside, and Caden Honeycutt got a really good push from his teammate Ross Chastain and was able to get a great run for the lead. But then going down the back straightaway, Corey Heim got a really strong and really fast run, and he was able to take the race lead as they battled side by side for a second, with eventually Corey Heim being able to clear and take the race lead. The first and last caution for incident would end up taking place on lap number 70 of the event, as Ross Chastain and Corey Heim were battling side by side for the lead coming off of turn number 4. We'd see them get sideways, and then a big wreck would start happening on the front straightaway. Gio Ruggiero made contact with Chandler Smith coming off of turn number 4. He would end up getting sideways and going down the track, and Chandler Smith would collect Ty Majeski. They both end up spinning out into the grass, getting a ton of damage, and behind them, BJ McConnell and Connor Mosack were not able to check up right behind them, and they got collected in the incident as well. BJ got some damage, and Connor Mosack's night would pretty much be over with a ton of damage on that truck as well. And then on the restart on lap 7, which going to that incident real quick, to me, I think that was just a racing deal, unfortunately. I think Gio was trying to make a move. He had been having a fast truck all night long. He tried to make a really aggressive move to get up there, just a little bit over aggressive for a rookie, but also Chandler did come down a little bit. He got sideways as well, which is really unfortunate there. But nonetheless, a tough situation there for all those guys, because Chandler Smith's been really consistent this year, but his finishes on mile and half at times this year have not been very good. So tough break for all those guys involved in that incident, including Ty Majeski, whose season has been really, really bad. So then on the restart, Corey Heim lead the field from the inside with Ross Chastain on the outside, and Corey Heim got a fantastic restart once again and was able to clear for the race lead with a great battle between Ross Chastain and Lane Riggs. Meanwhile, Lane Riggs got a really good run on Ross Chastain a few laps later, and he was able to take second position. And then we started seeing Lane Riggs run down Corey Heim, at least at the time. He was really catching him very, very quickly, was running him down at a very quick and rapid rate. But then, all of a sudden, And during the commercial break, for some reason, they never really mentioned this, but Lane Race lost over a second out of nowhere, and Corey Heim would start pulling out to a really big lead. Like we mentioned earlier, his truck was really fast and really strong on the long run. And then we saw a fantastic battle between Kyle Busch, who'd been in this race tonight, Lane Race, and Ross Chastain would all put on a really good show and really good battle. Lane Race would lose a ton of ground, and Kyle Busch would move up to second position, followed by Ross Chastain. And then on the inside lane, Ross Chastain got a really good run on Kyle Busch, and he moved up to second position, while Corey Heim would have a 5 to 6 second lead at this point. And then green flag pit stops to start for the final time. Lane Race and Katie Honeycutt, they would come down pit road first on lap 104. Then on the next lap, Corey Heim, Kyle Busch, Ross Chastain, Grant Enfinger, Daniel Hemrick, Jake Garcia, all those guys came down. And then Matt Mills, Tyler Ankrum, Parker Clearman, those guys would come down, handing the lead to Rajah Caruth. As the run continued on, we were wondering if Rajah was going to stay out a long time, as he was trying to play his strategy to be up front. But then eventually, with 19 laps to go, Rajah Caruth would come down pit road, handing the lead to Stuart Friesen. And then the next lap, Stuart Friesen, he would come down pit road. This would hand the race lead back to Corey Heim, who had a near 6.5 to 7 second lead over Ross Chastain at the time. And you're thinking at that point, are we going to have a caution that is going to screw Corey Heim out of a win? Are we going to have a late race restart? Well, luckily this time around, everybody kept their noses clean. Everyone did a good enough job to hold on, and Corey Heim would have the largest lead extended in Craftsman truck history. There would be times when Ross Chastain would be a little bit faster, but Ross wouldn't have anything for him. And coming out the final corner, Corey Heim puts up dominant clinic leads in 98 of 134 laps and picks up his 4th Truck Series victory 2025 and his 15th career Craftsman Truck Series victory, tying Matt Crafton on the all-time win list for 10th place. What an absolute dominant clinic tonight for Corey Heim. He absolutely earned this win. He had the best truck all night long. His truck was just the best, especially on the long run. The short run speed wasn't as strong as it was on the long run, but his long run speed especially was super dominant. He had the best truck on the long run by a mile. Every time he's in the field, he's a favorite to win. And I've said this for a while, but Corey Heim has 4 wins this year. I'm going to be honest, he should have 7 or 8 wins at this point, how dominant he's been. He should be in the NASCAR Cup Series right now of how good of a driver he's been in 2025. But tonight, he gets a well-deserved victory. He put on absolute ass-kicking tonight. Congratulations to Corey Heim on picking up his 4th truck win of the season. Also now has led the most laps of the first 11 races of the year. Congrats to Corey Heim on picking up the win at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the race results. I'm going to give my score and thoughts on today's race. So Corey Heim picks up the win. Ross Chastain finishes second. We thought Ross was going to be a factor for the win. He had a really good truck, especially on the short run, but the long run speed just did not seem to be there for Ross Chastain like it was at Homestead earlier this year. But so really great run for Ross. He's been always good at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Nice has been good here. So really good run for Ross. He finishes second. Caden Honeycutt finishes third. Really good run for Caden Honeycutt. Ran top 5 most of the night. Had really good pit stops. It just seemed like that truck in the longer run, though, was losing some ground on Corey Heim. Still tonight was a really strong run for the Nice team. He finished third, best collective run he's had all year. Great run for him in 3rd place. Lane Race finished 4th. I think at times he was almost better than Corey Heim at points in this race early, but it seemed like, especially on the longer run, his truck was not very good, but his short run speed was really good. Gets a top 5. Didn't have to do anything to cause controversy this week. He finishes 4th. Great run for Lane Race. Kyle Busch finishes 5th. Kyle Busch had probably a top 5 truck. He didn't have as bad of a truck as he had last week in North Wilkesboro. I think there were times where he was a little bit quicker than Corey Heim on the longer run. But Kyle Busch just never had the speed to go for victory. It's clear as day the Spire trucks are not as strong as they've been in the past. There's a lot of work to do for the Spire trucks currently at the moment. But still a solid night. He didn't really lead any laps, unfortunately, tonight. But still a solid night for Kyle, but not enough to go to victory lane. He was my pick coming in the race. He finishes 5th. Grant Enfinger finishes 6th. Solid top 10 night for Grant. Was quiet most of the evening, but got up there as the night progressed and went on. Comes home with a 6th place finish. Good run truck on the long run. He finishes 6th. Matt Mills finished 7th. Want to give him a shout out. This is probably the best all-around run he has had in the Craftsman Truck Series so far. His truck on the long run was really good. I saw him after the penalty. He restarted back in like 30th and got up to about 15th by the time he had the green flag pit stops. So really fantastic run for Matt. Had a really good truck, especially on the long run. Great speed for him. He finishes in 7th. Daniel Hemrick finishes 8th, a quiet top 10 run for him. He ran about 6th to 10th most of the night, just didn't have the speed to contend for the victory, but not a bad night nonetheless. He finishes 8th. Rajah Caruth finished 9th. Ran top 10 a lot of this race, ran around that 10th to 12th area. Didn't have the speed to contend for victory. They tried to play a strategy, actually almost got back up there, got a top 5. They ran on time to get better finishes, but still top 10 is not bad for Raja, and the season continues to improve a little bit. And Brandon Jones with the quiet top 10 finish in 10th place. Never was a factor tonight, but just kept his nose clean. Got a decent finish tonight. He finishes 7th. Jake Garcia finished 11th. He carries the banner once again for ThorSport Racing. He's been the best ThorSport truck, and tonight was one of his best performances of the year. That's how good I think he's generally been in 2025. A solid night, not a great night though for Jake, but he's been doing better than Haley Deegan in that truck. Tyler Ankrum finished 12th. I got to be honest, I expected more from Ankrum. He's been really good this year, so shocking to see him not have the speed to contend for victory, but he does come home with a top 15. Not bad, all things considered. Stuart Friesen finishes 13th, not a bad night for him. Parker Clearman finishes 14th, gets a top 15 for the Henderson Motorsports team. BJ McClough finished 15th. I thought BJ would do a little bit better, but they played strategy to get a top 15. That's one of the better runs BJ's had in his truck series time. I know BJ's a better driver than what they showed. I just think that 07 truck has been not that good this year with the drivers behind the wheel. Kyle Larson struggled with that truck, and Kyle Busch struggled as well. So tough night for BJ in 15, but he still comes home with a solid top 15. Andres Perez finishes 16th. Ben Rose finished 17th. A really big struggle for the driver of the 99 truck tonight. Luke Fenhaus finished 18th. Just a non-factor all evening long. Never had the truck to contend. Timmy Hill finishes in 19th. Matt Cratton once again struggles another event. He finishes in 20th. Gia Ruggiero finished 21st. I gotta be honest, I don't know what happened to this truck. He just had really good speed early. They tried to play some long game strategy. He never had the speed to contend. He finished 21st. Seven Parsons finished 22nd. Connor Mosack continues to struggle, finished 23rd. Spencer Boyd finished 24th. Jack Wood finished 25th. Tanner Gray finished 26th after starting on the front row. He got some damage and never was a contender after that. Frankie Muniz finished 27th. Mason Mazzio finished 28th. Cody Dennison finished 29th. Tony Breidinger continues to struggle in trucks. She finished 30th. Just a bad night all around for her. Dawson Sutton finished 31st after his issues. Ty Majeski finishes 32nd after falling out of the race. Just a bad run of luck continues. Justin Carroll finished 33rd, and finishing last in 34th place is Chandler Smith. Now we're going to talk about the overall race as a whole, and I'll give my score and thoughts on tonight's race. For a race that Corey Heim dominated and led almost the whole entire event, I gotta say, especially on the restarts, I thought the restarts, and especially the first 15-20 laps of the event, I thought it was really entertaining. You had really good battles between guys like Corey Heim and Ross Chastain throughout the night. You also had really good battles up front. Caden Honeycutt got up there from time to time, and when Lane Briggs was really good tonight. But once we got into the long run, I'm going to be honest, there definitely was some good racing. I think Fox did a decent job at times showing it, but the broadcast, once again, was not very good from Fox standards. Thank God we don't have any more Cup broadcasts at Fox going forward. But I think tonight's race, despite the fact that Corey Heim dominated, I think it was a solid race, not a great race by any stretch of the imagination. My score of tonight's truck race is going to be a 7 out of 10. Again, Charlotte can be hit or miss for the truck series especially. You can get all-time great races like 2015, and then you have races like tonight, for example, that are solid but not spectacular, and you have one guy that completely dominates the event. It was a solid race but not a spectacular race at this track, in my opinion. Decent race. It definitely could have been better, though. So, that is going to tonight's NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race review from Charlotte Motor Speedway. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Let's go below that and comment your thoughts below on tonight's race. Your thoughts on tonight's race, let me know below. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and congratulate Corey Heim picking up the win. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Tomorrow on the channel, we're going to have the reactions to Coca-Cola 600 qualifying. We're also going to have the Xfinity Series race review as well. Then on Sunday, we're going to have the starting lineup video for the Coke 600. We are also going to have the Indy 500 review, and we're going to have the Coke 600 race review as well. And then Monday, we're going to have a NASCAR news. We're discussing news over the course of the last couple days. We're going to talk about people like Kyle Busch, Haley Deegan, Shane Van Gisbergen, Cards, Kurt Busch, William Byron's contract extension, Dodge, Honda, Cleese LaFaro once again after his incident, Matt Benedetto, Frankie Muniz, Connor Zilch, Jr. Motorsports, Carson Quaffle, Sam Mayer, Sheldon Creed, and many other stories we'll be talking about on the channel in the coming days and weeks. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content, other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.